Okay, so Andy's going to start us off with our
Okay.
invocation.
All right. You know, as a yoga teacher, I would automatically say inhale for Om, so I'm not going to say that. But
Go ahead. No, do what you do. That would be fun.
inhale for Om. Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum Shashi Varnam Chaturbhucham Prashanavadanam Dayaye Sarve Vigno Pashantiye.
Thank you. Very nice. And who was doing yasya? Was that me? Was that Caitlin?
Yasya Dvyadavaktradyah Parishatyah Parashatam Vignan Ignanti Satatam Vishvaksenantamashraye.
We didn't assign anyone for that, so I'll do the next one. Jnananandamayan devam nirmalaspatikakritim adharam sarva vidyanam hayagrivamupas
Pundarika sanasinam Pandura prendusannipam Hakanta potajanakam Hayagrivamupas Guru Pyastat Guru Pyascha Namo Vakamadi Mahe Vrimahe Chatatratyau Dampati Jagatampati.
Shri Krishna Vagisha Yatishvarabhyam Samprapta Chakrankana Bhashyasaram Shri Nutnarangendra Yattau Samarpitasvam Shri Krishna Maryam Guru Varyamirje Virodhe Kartike Vase Shatatara Kritodayam Yogacharyam Krishna Varyam Guru Varyamaham Bhaje.
Shirhyakang Krishna Maryasya Natavam Shapradipakam Kalyana Gunarupantam Shri Deshikam Namamyaham Prashanta Purushakaram Viniyoga Pracharakam Vishesha Vaidikam Surim Tandeshikam Smaramyaham Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Harihi Om.
Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let's get out our handouts. I thought we would, in following last week when we were honoring Sarasvati, in order not to make the other gods jealous, I thought, we would honor some of the other deities as well. So does everybody have this either on your iPhone or in a handout or in a printout? I took these from the CD, Chants for Healing with Shubhraji. So the first one goes like this, the way she does it. We will do it in the melody that she offers. Oh, so the first one is to Ganesha, our beloved elephant with the one tusk, the son of Parvati and Lord Shiva. Om Ganganapataye Namaha. Let's do this 5 times. Om Ganganapataye Namaha. 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 The next one is in the same kind of meter of other Gayatris, which simply means the Gayatri means it is a meter with a total of 24 syllables, 8 syllables per line, not counting the Om. And Shubhraji's presentation is in this manner. Om Ekadantaya Vidmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tanno Danti Prachodayat. Om Ekadantaya Vidmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tanno Danti Prachodayat. So before we go on, are there any questions about pronunciation? Is it pretty clear? Anything you'd like to go over?
I have a question about the Bija mantra that we did. I noticed that when you said Ganganapataye, you changed the nasal, but when you say Om in the beginning, you didn't say Om. It was Om.
Yes. When you take a breath, which usually I do, I don't know if I did, this does signify that we can go Om to the throat. Gang, Ganapataye. And the gang, it's like saying the gang, Ganapataye, because of the ga. If we take a breath, then it's Om. If we don't, then because there's an Anusvara mark, it's Om Gam Ganap or Om Gang Ganapataye Namaha. Now, when I listened to Shubraji, I think she keeps the of Om at the lips. So for now, it's your choice. But there it is, the Anusvara. And what I do is usually, I don't know, maybe it just depends on who I'm chanting with. You know, if I'm with a group of serious Vedic chanters, then Om Gang Ganapataye. But if I want to take a breath, again, it's Om Gang Ganapataye Namaha. And that's all I know so far. I keep learning. So when I learn more, or if anybody else learns more, please let us know. And Elizabeth, do you have anything to add to that?
I don't think I've ever heard the Om, that Anuswara changed. And so I just assumed that Om was always Om, no matter what followed.
It feels to me, it feels better to keep it at the lips because it's Om. And
Well,
that's the symbol.
it has it's a sacred sound. I wonder.
Oh, and you know what? I'm looking at the print here. I made a mistake in the printout. Nikolai Bachman wrote all the Sanskrit for this CD, and he does not have an Anusvara mark. So we could just take it away. So I apologize, that shouldn't be there. So he just has OM with no Anusvara mark. And then Gum has the Anusvara mark. So let's keep it at the lips. So let's chant that one more time with Om at the lips. And then we'll do the Ganesha Gayatri. We'll do that 5 times and see how that feels, how that sits in us. Om Gang Ganapataye Namaha. Om Ekadantaya Vidmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tanno Danti Prachodayat. 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 Nikolai translates that particular mantra this way. Om, he says, is the symbol of ever new absolute reality. That's kind of nice. The symbol of ever new absolute reality. Ekadanta vakratunda. Ekadanta. Danta is like teeth, but here tusk. One tusked, eka meaning one. Winding trunked. Vakratunda, or the one with the curved trunk. Vakra is a word for curved or winding. Tunda, the trunk. Vidmahe. Nikolai translates that as we experience. We experience. Vidmahe. Dhimahi. We meditate on. Tat. Then, he says, Tanno danti. No meaning naha, us, the we who are meditating. Danti. And danti, of course, it means elephant, but danti here is an epithet for the elephant. Tanno danti prachodayat. May he guide us. Prachodayat. So this is Nikolai Bachman's translation from Shubraji's, from her, for her CD. And now a brief one for Durga. Durga mantra, Shree Durga Bija mantra. We'll do that 5 times. I'll do it once so you can hear it, and then we'll do it all together 5 times. Om Hrim Dum Durga Devyai Namaha. Here we go. Om Hrim Dum Durga Devyai Namaha. 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 Nikolai Bachman offers no translation. These are just the Bija mantras. Hrim Dum Durga. Devyai means to the goddess, and Namaha, salutation to the goddess. And here's a slightly longer one for Lakshmi. And this one goes like this. Om Shreem Hreem Shreem Kamale Kamalalaye Prasida Prasida Om Shreem Hreem Shreem Shri Mahalakshmi Devyai Namaha. So there's quite a few sounds in that. Kamala, of course, is a word for lotus. So Kamala laye, Kamala alaye, alaya, 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 hima alaya. The abode in the lotus, perhaps, or where the lotus dwells, or the one who dwells in the lotus. I was just reminded of, the mountain range, Himalaya. Never call it the Himalayas. That's wrong. It's Himalaya. Hima meaning snow, alaya meaning abode of snow. And so Kamalalaye, literally abode of lotus, really. So lotus dweller, perhaps. And he offers no translation. Prasida. Well, there's a word prasada, which is the offering of a gift at the end of a class or a session or a ceremony. Prasad, and oftentimes at the end of a class, the teacher will come around and offer sweets as a prasad. So prasida might have something to do with that, offering of sweets. Well, let's chant that 5 times and see what happens. And I was thinking today, these are, very simple, comparatively simple things, just because of their brevity, all of these mantras. So if we can focus on going deeply, just see how the sounds resonate inside us, what every syllable means. We may not be able to articulate in words what they mean, but I'm sure there is a high purpose. Here we go. We'll start. I did it once, so we'll do this 5 times. Om Shreem Hreem Shreem Kamale Kamalalaye Prasida Om Shreem Hreem Shreem Shri Mahalakshmi Devyai Namaha. Om Shreem Hreem Shreem Kamale Kamalalaye Prasida Om Shreem Hreem Shreem Shri Mahalakshmi Devyai Namaha. Om Shreem Hreem Shreem Kamale Kamalalaye Prasida Om Shreem Hreem Shreem Shri Mahalakshmi Devyai Namaha. Om Shreem Hreem Shreem Kamale Kamalalaye Prasida Om Shreem Hreem Shreem Shri Mahalakshmi Devyai Namaha. Om Shreem Hreem Shreem Kamale Kamalalaye prasida, prasida. Om Shreem, Hreem, Shreem. Shri Mahalakshmi Devyai Namaha. And last but never least, one more for Saraswati. You know, I keep thinking of these deities as being outside of me. And then sometimes I remember, well, you know, maybe it's the whole point of these is to seek that eternal self that we're taught in the Bhagavad Gita, if we believe in such things, that eternal self that is in all of us. And maybe it's helpful to personify those eternal selves by really paying homage to our own selves, our higher self, and all the different aspects that are characterized by these male and female deities. Saraswati. Om Aim Shreem Hreem Saraswati Devyai Namaha. So we'll do that 5 times. Om Aim Shreem Hreem Saraswati Devyai Namaha. 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 So now, in honor of the giant step onward and forward that Sandra's husband has just taken, we'll chant Om Namo Narayanaya. Let's see if we can do that 9 times. 9 times. 9 is considered auspicious. That number, I think you all know, maybe I mentioned it before, or maybe you already know this, that 9, any multiple of 9, when you add up the component numbers, they add up to 9. So for example, 9 times 9 is 81. 8 plus 1 equals 9. If you multiply anything times 9, you add up those digits, they become 9. I don't think that occurs with any other number. So 9 times. So Sandra, this is for you, in helping you in your transition, in helping you help your husband in his transition. Om Namo Narayanaya. 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 Godspeed, Jack.
Leslie, can I ask a grammar? I think it's, I don't know if it's grammar or it's just Sanskrit question. It seems to me is when you have AI together, as in I'm and then Dave Yai, does the AI just always pronounced as I?
Yes. Yeah. I'm. The English letters were just simply the Westerners' way of writing down a Sanskrit sound. So it's really one sound that changes in the mouth position. It goes from all the way from the throat, just from the throat to the second mouth position, from the throat to the soft palate, and then the all the way to the lips. And at the end of the nouns, Sarasvati, feminine nouns ending in E or I, Sarasvatyai, Sarasvati, it's simply, that is a grammatical thing. And it means a grammatical rule or incidence. And whenever that is there, it's simply the dative case, Sarasvatyai, to Sarasvati, to Sarasvati.
Thank you.
And Sanskrit has 8 cases for their nouns, which we don't have in English, but they apparently in Latin, they have that. So we don't need to use prepositions when we use a noun. Salutation to the guru, gurave. Gurave means to the guru. Sarasvatyai, to Sarasvati, something like that. Speaking of which, let's get out our chant books. Hopefully you have them handy. And let's go to the guru salutation on page 88. We started with that, and then typical me, we got sidetracked. But I think it's a good idea to stick with this. So every week we'll go back to the first verse and we'll just keep tagging on a new verse, maybe 2 new verses, let's see how it goes. And since Shubraji does do a beautiful melody to this, we'll stick with that. I mean, I find it beautiful. Beauty is all in the eye of the ear of the beholder, isn't it? Salutations are to that guru who showed me the abode, the one who is to be known, whose form is the entire universe and by whom all the movable and immovable are pervaded. Akhanda mandalakaram vyaptan yena characharam tatpadam darshitan yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So the Anusvaras at the end of the long phrase Akhanda Mandala Karam, that ends in the and then it's followed with a v of Vyaptam. So that was that ending of Mandalakaram can stay the same. Mandalakaram Vyaptam. Mandalakaram Vyaptam. Yena Characharam. Tat Padam, we can change that. Tat Padan. So the D represents a sound at the teeth, where the tongue comes to the teeth. So it can be tat padan darshitam because of the darshitam. And then after darshitam, we have a Y, which signifies a second mouth position. Ya. So we can put the N, kind of the N with a tilde. Darshitanyena. So that's tat padan darshitanyena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. And the same thing, if you go to the second verse, there seems to be just one anusvara in the second line at the end of the first group of letters. Chakshurun militanyena, the same thing, militanyena. So let's check the first verse and then the second verse, and then you please tell me after we've done the second verse if you want to go over them again or if you want to proceed to the third verse. Let's see how we go. I'll start with Om. Om Akhanda Mandala Karam Vyaptan Yena Characharam Tat Padan Darshitanyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun militanyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Feedback. How are we?
I could use a little going over this a little bit more. I think there was certainly, and there was certainly for me in the second verse was some tongue twisters there.
Yes, tongue, yes. Almost tongue mutilators, I might say. So let's take this slowly and see what happens. Ajnana, everyone say that. Oh, those J's and N's. Gosh, gee whiz. The Sanskritists really wanted us to use that part of the mouth. Ajnana. If we break that apart, Jnana. We could do that too. Jnya, jnya, jnya. And see if you can feel that vibration made in the soft palate. Jnya, ajnya, ajnana. So now you can either keep it ajnana or then it's almost as though the J was like the G of, that's a G. It's almost thrown further back. Ajnana. I'm feeling mine still in the soft palate, but some people, in order to get that JN sound, the only way they can do it is throw it back into the throat, which is okay. Ajnana. Ajna, nya, nya. Ajnana timi. Ajnana timi. Timirandhasya. Ooh, there's a Mahaprana there. Randhasya. Ajnana timirandhasya. Ajnanatimirandhasya. And then they put another one in there. It's all about knowledge and absence of knowledge here. Jnananjana. My goodness. Jnananjana. So the order is reversed, the order of words, because jnana meaning knowledge, but anjana, anjana, that Anjana means ointment. Something about the eye. To that guru who opened the eye of one blind to the darkness of ignorance with a needle coated with the ointment of knowledge. So that's anjana, anjana, anjana. Jnana, jnananjana shalakaya. Jnananjana shala, and then they have the sha in there, which is also at the second mouth position. There's a great deal going on at the soft palate in this particular line. Jnananjana shalakaya kaya. So let's do that top line again from ajnana. Ajnanatimirandhasya jnananjana shalakaya. And let's just repeat it. Ajnanatimirandhasya jnananjana shalakaya. Moving on. Chakshurun militan yena. We'll repeat that. Chakshurun militan yena. Tasmai Shree Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shree Gurave Namaha. Let's chant that second verse and then move on to the third one, which is more familiar to us. Okay, so we'll get that second verse planted in our some series of samskaras. We'll have it be a good samskara. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurun militan yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshvaraha Gurureva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Let's do that again, because the words have changed. Some of us have learned Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshvara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, but here it's Gurureva. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshvaraha Gurureva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Is it time to move to the fourth verse, or shall we repeat all the first three? Moving on to the fourth. Are we brilliant? We are brilliant. Rebecca, you seem to be on my main screen. So, no, it's great. You are brilliant, darling. Absolutely brilliant. I wish I could say I could hear you, but I don't have those divine powers yet. The limit. Okay, so the translation. Actually, somebody else. Would somebody please read out loud the translation of number 3 and number 4? Anyone?
I will.
Thank you.
Salutations are to that guru who showed me the one to be known, who permeates whatever is movable, immovable, sentient or insentient or sentient.
I like
Or-
sentient. Usually I hear sentient, but since it's not Sanskrit, I don't care.
Or insentient. Salutations to that teacher who showed me by teaching the one to be known, who is but awareness and who is the pervader of all 3 worlds comprising the sentient and insentient.
Wow.
Insentient.
It's like your karma to say those words sentient and insentient. All right, so number 4, here we go. Om Stavaram Jangamam Vyaptam Yat Kinchit Sacharacharam Tatpadan Darshitan Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Let's just do it again. Stavaram, sorry. So here the Anusvara tells us to put that M to make the nasal in the soft palate again. Man, this chant loves the soft palate. Interesting. Stavaram Jangamam Vyaptam Yat Kinchit Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitan Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. And number 5. Chinmayam Vyapi Yat Sarvam. Now I'm taking a breath there. Sorry, I stopped. So if we don't take a breath, then it should be at the teeth, that at the end of Yat Sarvan. So it could be Yat Sarvan Trilokyam Yat Sarvan Tri. But I will be taking a breath there. So then that means I will end Yat Sarvam at the lips. Chinmayam Vyapi Yat Sarvam Trailokyan Sacharacharam. The S without the diacritical mark tells the tongue to go to the teeth. So it's Trailokyan Sacharacharam. We'll repeat that first line and then move into the second line. Chinmayam Vyapi Yat Sarvam Trailokyan Sacharacharam Tatpadan Darshitan Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shall we chant verses 1 through 5? And actually, does anyone have anything they'd like to go over before we chant 1 through 5? Okay, here we go. Om Akhandamandalakaram Vyaptan yena characharam Tatpadan darshitan yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurun militanyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshvaraha Gurureva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Stavaram Jangamam Vyaptam Yat Kinchit Sacharacharam Tat Padan darshitan yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Chinmayan Vyapiyat Sarvam Trailokyan Sacharacharam Tatpadan darshitan yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. How did you do? Comments? Good. Lisa has a thumbs up. Yay.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, isn't it?
But the last piece, you know, as you start to hear, for me anyway, when I just start to get that, you know, gives you a foundation that you're always coming back to. So
There's nothing like repetition. Yeah.
It really, really helps to listen to the Shribaji CD or
Yeah.
the album or whatever, because
Yeah.
then it's just like, just the melody becomes so familiar that it helps you along.
Yeah. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be that melody, but I happen to like it. And you told us we could get it on Spotify, right?
Yeah, I think I sent an email out of the
Yeah.
links for Spotify, for different albums.
So next week, okay, here's an assignment. Each of you choose one verse from these 5, and well, if you can, memorize it. But if not, you get to chant it for the group. Now, by chanting, we could just say them. One of my teachers, Edwin Bryant, really for the sake of his own, it's for his own practice. At the beginning of classes that he teaches, he just speaks these. So he does the first 2 verses only. He doesn't do the whole thing, but he goes like this. Mandalakaram vyaptan yena characharam tatpadan darshitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurun militan yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So it's kind of nice just to say it.
Mhm.
Maybe easier, maybe not easier. We were singing it, really. So everybody gets to choose. You don't have to choose right now. You could think it over, but choose something from these 5 verses.
But Leslie, if you're gonna finish there for the day, could we do Twameva though to finish it?
Yes, yes.
I would say make Rebecca do it because she's so good at it. But.
Rebecca, you're on the spot.
Oh, Patty. Okay. But just, this is what I know so far. I'm going to use that, Leslie, every day.
Use what?
Let me tell you, this year, I feel like this is what I know. That's what I know so far.
Oh, okay.
That's what I know so far. Okay.
Lead us
And-
in. I'll mute myself so I can chant with you and everybody.
And maybe I do it in a different way, but whatever. It's just out there for y'all.
Yay, different ways. Vive la différence.
Yeah. Okay. Twameva mata chapita twameva. Twameva bandhus chasaka twameva. Twameva vidya dravinam twameva. Twameva sarvam mama deva deva. Twameva sarvam mama deva deva.
Do it again. I love it.
I have chills. It's so good.
Thank you. No, I'm not. I don't want to do it again. It does feel good though, right? It
Yeah.
feels good in your heart. Thank you. I so needed that
Yeah.
today.
That was love. Oh, good. Yeah. Would anyone else like to chant it out loud for us, for the group? And it can be a different melody or the same melody. That was lovely, Rebecca. Thank you. Well, the thing is, yours was a hard act to follow. But I would like us all to do it again because it's so
Yeah,
lovely.
I'll do it again, and everybody's singing it with me. Everybody's singing it with me. Here we go.
Thank
Twameva mata chapita twameva. Twameva bandhuscha sakha twameva. Twameva vidya dravinam twameva. Twameva sarvam mama deva deva. Twameva sarvam mama deva deva.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you.
That's a lovely way. That's a lovely way to end. Does anyone have anything else they'd like to chant before we do our happy trails? Just had an image of that TV show. I think all of you we're not born yet, but I used to watch Roy Rogers and Dale Evans. Happy trails to you.
Until we meet again.
Oh, you know it. Om Shantihi, Shantihi, Shantihi. Was that enough for everybody today?
That was beautiful. Thank you so much. So great to see everybody and hear you.
Great to see you. Take care and, just discipline those fourth graders or whatever. Which age group are you teaching now?
2nd through 6th.